the size as those turkeys. They're like velociraptors, man. How are you now? Howdy. That was Travis. I'm Kevin, and we're H&H Prospecting. Thanks for tuning back in, friends. We're actually out getting ready to do our first dredging of 2021. Pretty dang excited. We're actually out on a group of claims out on Grouse Creek. These are actually for sale by the Republic Mining guys. The same guys who actually put on the club that we're in also sell claims too. We're somewhere kind of 3/4 of the way on number 2, going up creek. So pitter patter, let's get at her. It's been a minute since I pulled this cart. It's heavy. I got a flat tire. Safely made it down to the creek with the carts. Came back up to the truck to grab shovels and gas can. So let's take you down the trail real quick and show you where we're going to set up and work for the day. So that was a nice, quick, easy walk down the trail. There we are. Show you just where we're going to get set up today and work. Just sort of the simplicity of being able to get our motor where we want it. Set the motor here. Dig and dredge right there. Oh, sorry, sluice there. Dig there. Pump up there. So we gotta get all this gunk cleaned up, make us a little wall to kind of dam some of the water up since it's not flowing that fast through here. And then we'll get equipment up. Bob's just peeking up over the hill, as I like to call him. Bob, big orange ball in the sky. Travis isn't having it this morning, he's just going for it. Guess I should probably help. So everything's kind of set up, you know, we'll get dialed in and tune in as we go. You know, we made ourselves a dam here at the end to help water in this area, this choke point that we're going to be working. Sluice is where it's going to be. Once we get it actually turned on, we'll make some adjustments. Travis is getting it fueled, getting ready to get it primed, and we'll get it running. And if you haven't seen the setup before, it's quite simple. I think this whole thing, shindig and all did and done, cost us just under $600 to build ourselves. And it's basically a highbanker and dredge combo. And then also, of course, just your regular sluice. So you got your Keen sluice with all my awesome stickers. The more stickers you have on your sluice, the more gold you catch. It's science, it's true. I got my Goldhogs in there. We're using an old siding mat, basically, as a dampening mat. Travis bent this old aluminum hood up to make our hopper box. You can see it's basically got makeshift grizzly bars in there, so all the material will dump in there. It kind of swirls around a bit before it goes underneath the dapping mat down the sluice. On a 2-inch hose, 1.5-inch nozzle, 1-inch high pressure, 2 just our standard Harbor Freight trash pump. You can see there it's got the intake. We're in case we built another dam to help hold water where our intake is. We're going to have to keep a close eye on that today because this is a lower flowing non-salmon essential creek, of course. That's why we're able to high bank and dredge. But we'll have to keep an eye on that and make sure it doesn't get clogged. But I think that's about it. Let's move some material. Bob shining on our shoulders. It's going to be a beautiful day. We're going to find some shiny. Does he get it on the first pull today? Let's find out. It's been a while since we started that pump. Kind of got yourself in a difficult position there, buddy.
Yep.
Ooh. I think if you were in a difficult position, the first pull would have started it. So as guys, when you let your pumps first start up, especially if they're new, if you haven't let them run for a while, just let them sit and idle and warm up and do their things. No need to overwork your pump. We'll get that warmed up and we'll kind of show water going through the system, see if our sluice is balanced how we like it, and then we'll start moving some rocks. So since we are testing this, I just kind of want to go into more detail and kind of show what the area looks like right now and talk about what our plan of attack is. So it's not a big hole yet and not a lot of flow. Now the water's starting to go through. So what we're going to do is we got our awesome trusty Gold Slinger buckets, and we're actually going to work this bank and work this material and make ourselves more of a hole. And once we get most of that material clean, we'll just take, and that's what's great about this little setup, is we'll be able to just dump right in here our classified material and run it just like you would a high banker. And then once we get some more of that material clean and we really want to hopefully get down to bedrock and really get it cleaned up, that's when we'll get in there with the dredge nozzle and hopefully start sucking stuff up. Alright, yep. So yeah, that's what it looks like now. And periodically we'll check in and see how it's going and show you our process of working and moving material and hopefully finding gold out here on Grouse Creek. Claim number 2, which is just above the downstream borders. The very downstream start is claim 1, and then of course all the way to the top would be claim 7. Moved a couple big rocks right here off the top and sucked up what material was below them, and then it's kind of turning into hard pack again. Everything seems to be running as it should. Once we throttle back up, I'll show you guys. We're going to do a little bit of picking, a little digging in there, move some material all around, bust up that hard pack a little bit, get some more big rocks out of the way, and then we'll idle back up and suck up all the loose material. Do my best not to yell at you and scream over the pump here. You see, we just moved some more material, some more bigger rocks out of the hole. It's kind of mucky and muddy. You can't really see what you're doing. So Travis will actually have his fingers in front of that dredge nozzle, making sure he ain't sucking up too much at once or too bigger rocks, keeping that line clear. Looks like our intake's doing all right down there. I might have to do a little work. Looks like it might be sucking up, but rocks are moving down the sluice. Star-Lord's just holding that gold pan in place, otherwise stuff just comes splashing out of there. That's just making sure material's falling in. You look down in there, you can see the vortex of everything just swirling. That's going to make sure that those rocks are actually getting clean and that gold is going to drop and get stuck before it goes down the sluice. I got to do something about this intake. Clean up some of this gunk around it, stack some more rocks. I want to talk about these hoses real quick that we're using and why I like them so much. In the past we had a lay flat hose. A lot of people like to use lay flats for their high pressure. If you're moving water, 50, 100 feet, then the lay flat hoses are the way to go just because they're light. They're not as expensive, and you can just roll them out. If you're on a shorter hose though, I really do like this very rigid blue dredge hose. These are actually kind of a new thing, I guess, actually just in the last year or so. We got ours from Armadillo, as well as the actual clear dredge, the dredge hose that goes from the nozzle to the hopper box. It's really nice to actually be able to watch material get moved through here. If there ends up being a clog, we can kind of pinpoint it and find out where it is a lot quicker. Yeah, that's the hoses. You can see, by the way, I got that moved down a little bit further, cleaned out. It's not cavitating anymore. It's alright, y'all. Small little clog, really quick, easy. Just had a rock stuck there, popped it out real quick. But while we're idled down, just taking a little look, I am already seeing what appears to be some micros in the siding mat right on top of this hard pack material. No, we're still barely right on the surface here, so hopefully we'll find some good stuff underneath there. Alright, we're idled down again. We've been dredging for a little over an hour or so. Just getting some more material broke and cleaned. And I just want to say I found that flake sitting there shining in the Goldhogs. Sure, that'll come up on camera. Now, of course, it's underwater, so it looks a lot bigger than probably what it is. But Travis is just now working in this hard-packed gravel, nearly hard as concrete material, which is a good sign. Usually you'll start finding a little bit of gold on top of that, some of your smaller stuffs, but once you get through that, that's where your big heavies have deposited. Or it could just be another flood layer and we're still a million miles away from bedrock. But we'll keep playing and find out. I guess I should talk about why we chose to dig where we're at. This whole claim set drops. Just drops and drops and drops and drops and drops. Pull after pull after pull after pull after pull after pull. Takes a nice S-burn right here and almost hits this choke point. As you see, the ridge goes up here before it starts diving back down again. So we took an educated guess. We started digging there. Hopefully it'll turn out good. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Kirby. So you can see the kind of material and conglomerate that's down there. I mean, that I am pinching that. That is some hard packed clay trying to dredge up and work. So we'll just set that down there on the grizzly bars. And we'll let water just do its trick and get that all washed for us. So we've seen some micros and some flakes on top as we started our day. We took lunch. Still not that far below water, but this is what we're on top of now. This is what Travis is trying to work through and get below. Is this super hard packed red clay, just super hard packed. So hopefully, there'll be a pay layer sitting on top of that. That's where we saw some of those flakes and those micros, but hopefully underneath there is where we'll find the good stuff. Also, hopefully that clay is breaking up and the Goldhog is catching that gold. Be a really good place for a highbanker where you actually have your spray bars and everything catching and just washing that clay, getting that clay clean, because that clay will definitely hold gold too. Looking like Travis might have made it through that clay layer. I'm starting to see and hear some bigger gravels come down. Definitely getting to some different material. Not very rounded rocks, it looks like. See, there we go. That's what we want to see. Yeah, there's some bigger gravels coming down the sluice again. So it seems like that clay layer may have just been a false bottom. Hopefully hit gravel, clay layer, bedrock. Who knows? That's why we're testing. We'll have to do some work and hope I can get those videos to line up. We're actually running 2 cameras. Got a new camera for Easter. Thanks, Mom! But anyways, got below that clay layer where I just showed that piece of gold. Travis saw that piece of gold sitting around the clay. Came up to the sluice and noticed, starting to see quartz that's all rosy and ironized and rusty. That is good sign. Good sign. So big gravels coming down the sluice. Quartz. Seeing gold sitting on top of the clay. And this is at the bottom of the claims. Again, there's 7 of them, and we're on number 2. So you got 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 that are all above us. And then still another, we're in the middle of 2, so you still got another 10 acres of creek, and then another 20-acre claim after that. So we got us a nice hole dredged down there. You know, it's arm deep or so. We're going to take the Gold Slinger buckets now and take the rest of this material that's on the top. We're going to put them through the Gold Slingers, classify them down, and then we're just going to dump them through the top and run this like a highbanker. We'll do that for a little while, and once we get tired of that, then we'll come back, we'll clean some up with the dredge nozzle and go back and forth. We figure this way is how we're going to move as much material as fast as possible and not get freezing cold either without having to put on our full 7 mil wetsuits just to get in that little hole. So, pitter patter.
Well, we've gotten a few buckets through this now, and it seems once we got below that big clay layer, we're starting to see a lot of color inside in that. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up.
Alright, so now that we're actually just digging the hole, and we've gotten the hole deep enough, it's got enough water in it, so now you can see Travis is kind of removing the dam what that's going to do is kind of help get that dirty water out, lower the water level a little bit, and then it won't feel like we're digging so deep, making it a little bit easier for us to continue digging. Oh, would you look at that? Now that is what you're looking for. Wash, wash, wash. Probably should have washed that in the sluice box. Just kidding. That's a cool piece. Iceberg ahead!
So we're finishing up here for the day. We went at this hole with picks and shovels, got out what we could. Now Kevin is down in there with the dredge, cleaning up the bottom, basically till his arms go numb. This water is really cold.
Well, everything's cleaned up from the creek. Just about got everything loaded back up on the carts here. But before we go back up, let's go take a look at the hole. I'm going to guesstimate that we moved roughly about a yard of material today. Roughly. Let's say that hole's about 3 foot long, 3 foot wide, and maybe about 3 foot deep. But why don't we take a quick peek at what the hole actually looks like. Alright, so hopefully that'll actually give you an idea of the material, as what it's looked like as it's going through its stages, going through the hole. You kind of see the clay, hard packed sediment, and then as it got down in the gravels. Bedrock could still be 5 foot 6, 7, 8 foot from here, but let's get what we got off of the surface here, take it home, clean it up, and see what we came up with. I think there's some good gold here.
Now we're all cleaned up, rolling out. I figure we would take a minute and watch Kevin pull the cart up this hill. Probably doesn't look like much on film, but this hill's pretty steep.
I think I should probably push the cart up it. What do you think?
No, let me just give you a hand.
Makes me cheat death and make sure you guys see me in my fat frogman suit trying to scoop my butt up the hill. I'll just take the long way, he decides. What a buddy. Do you need my assistance? Oh. Oh, you man. Toughest thing in these woods. Just want to take a quick second in appreciation of where we're actually at and talk about it. I don't know much history. I'm going to actually look more into it and find out more, because we didn't actually know this was here on our way up, but on our way back down we decided to check it out. So this is actually all that remains of the little ghost town of Buncom, which is a historic mining site. Right behind me is actually, and in front of me is a truck. Hello, very friendly people. Right behind me is actually the post office. To my right is the general store, and over behind Travis is the livery. That's where your horses would hang out while you were visiting the general store, sending some mail, or doing whatever you would do in this small little town. So, pretty neat. We'll kind of take a peek through the windows. Everything's boarded up, as it should be, but take a quick little look at it. Thought it was cool. It's only like not even 3/4 of a mile from where we were just working. So that's another benefit too, knowing that you're in a historic area by the claim. There's a little ghosty hanging in there. Did you see that?
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to see through those. Let's try a side window. Maybe we can see through this one. There's no sun. Yeah, there we go. We can see through that one.
So even got the old gate here for your going out to your horses and your cattle. Yeah, a little mini horse out there. And a bigger size horse too. Those are all different mines. Oh no, different towns. Oregon spooky spots. Oh, we'll keep chatting. That's our neighborhood. Maybe we'll take y'all there someday. Oh man, looks like you can do some boot scooting and boogieing in there.
Don't think you're going to be able to see. Here we go. Let's see if I can fit you guys through here. At least enough to see.
Okay. So there it is. The cleaned out gold that we brought home. 0.04. It's registered for a second. Let's talk about that though. So I'm pretty sure those Goldhogs are losing gold. The only way we'll actually find out for sure is next time we go out dredging, we'll take the other sluice that has the new green mats in it and we'll put it at the end of the Goldhog sluice and to see if any gold comes up in that. Besides that, what an awesome, great spot to get out on today. Super close to town, like only 10 minutes from the claim, and you can actually go and get yourself a hot meal. I really like that spot. I hope we get a chance to get back there and actually get down deeper in that hole down to bedrock and find the big chunky gold that I know that's there because I saw flakes and pickers in my sighting mats today. Thanks again, Danny and Kirby. Really appreciate you letting us go out and check it out. You guys, if you're interested in this claim or any other claims, buying claims in Oregon, California, Washington, check out republicmining.com. Get a hold of Danny and Kirby. If you guys want to join the club and go out mining with Travis and myself, that's going to be republicmining.com/HH. I'll put both links in the description below. If you want a Gold Slinger or if you are interested in finding those green mats, I'll put links for those as well. Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet and you like what you saw, please hit that subscribe button, leave us a like, leave us comments. I like to talk to you. Next trip, Brush Creek, 10th and the 11th of April. Hope to see you guys there. And as always, get that shiny. You ever had butter on a Pop-Tart? It's so freaking good. If you ever haven't had butter on a Pop-Tart, well, I really think you should. Travis, you ever had butter on a Pop-Tart? It's so freaking good.